I'm Clara Jansen, and welcome to tonight's episode of Down to the Wire. I'm joined here tonight by our special guest, Maya Karenich, the Executive Opinions Editor for the Marquette Wire. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you for having me.
So this week, for the editorial in the Marquette Tribune, you wrote about an incident that happened recently where two of Milwaukee City aldermen had a press conference on homelessness and asked the university to open up the City Center Hotel to house the homeless this winter. So the university purchased that hotel a few years back, but it's been sitting vacant for a few months now. As you were researching and writing the editorial, what opinion did you end up concluding?
So after talking with the e-board and then doing more research on my own, we came to the conclusion that it was kind of an unrealistic request of the aldermen. There really wouldn't be enough time for Marquette to turn that into a homeless shelter. So Marquette responded appropriately to say what they did, and they were really looking out for the best interest of everyone with the decision that they made. Mm-hmm.
So the building itself, is that it wasn't in like a position to house people?
Yeah, correct. So there's no furniture, there's no electricity, so obviously they would have to do that first, which would take time. And there's other things that they would have to do too, like getting a business license before they could even open the shelter for people.
Okay, so there were varying reactions from students around campus, including a petition going around that has almost 300 signatures right now, actually, urging the university to go along with what the aldermen were requesting. So if those students are listening right now, what would you tell them to help explain why it's an unrealistic idea?
Yeah, I think there's like a common misconception that it's easy to open a homeless shelter, but it's really not as simple as just opening the doors and allowing people to come in. As we said before, the building isn't in good shape to have people, and then they would need a business license. There's other steps that the university would have to take if they wanted to open it as a nonprofit, which would take time to do as well. And they would have to have other things in place, like food programs and like other programs for the people there.
Mm-hmm. So I know that university officials were caught really off guard by this, and they didn't know the aldermen were going to be making that statement, and the university immediately responded saying that it was unrealistic for them to do that, but Marquette itself is a Jesuit institution and they do truly care about the homeless community. So what are some of the things that Marquette and the student body here does to help out with the homeless situation in Milwaukee?
Currently, a couple programs that they have are Midnight Run and Project Homeless Connect. So that's like through the university and their programs that help the homeless within Milwaukee.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there was some discussion between Marquette student government and between city or the university officials as to what they can do in the future. So I think we should be getting some answers and further plans soon in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess my last question would be, have you gotten any feedback about the editorial from anyone?
I actually haven't. I've been checking the comments to see if anyone was going to say anything because of how much the students were posting about the petition and stuff, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.